Elon Musk has asked to see the gold at Fort Knox. And a lot of people are mad, like, why does he want to see the gold? Now, there's some interesting stuff about this. Now, I'm not saying there's no gold there, but it seems weird to me. There's not been a full audit on Fort Knox since 1953. Isn't that weird? 70 years, nobody has audited the gold. How do we know it's even there? Remember, in 1953, only a fraction of the gold was tested, not all of it. There's never been an independent third-party auditor in that vault. Now, you got to remember this too, is that this is what we know, is that in 1961 and 1971, gold reserves were drained. But this is fact. The U.S. shipped out gold out of Fort Knox to prevent a financial crisis. But in 1971, after all that happened, all of a sudden Nixon says we're going to go off the gold standard. That's why we saw massive inflation in the U.S. dollar. Now, if you look at 1971 on, the U.S. dollar has massively inflated. Before that, there was very little inflation because it was attached to gold. But in 71, it got unattached from gold, and the U.S. was allowed to print as many dollars basically as they wanted based on the loan system. A lot of people said that the reason why he did that was because there was no gold in there. I don't know. But I don't know if there's no gold in there, but I just want to talk about this because I really believe we need to audit that gold. and the reason is because a lot of countries have asked for their gold back. They've demanded the gold back, but the U.S. has not been able to give them their gold back. Now, this is very weird. I don't know. I'm not saying there's gold there. I'm not saying I just want to touch on it. But I just wanted to say that regardless if there's gold or not, that's one of the biggest reasons why we have massive inflation on the U.S. dollar. And the inflation will continue. So it's always important to invest. It's important to always, you can't just work a job no more. You can't just wait for your retirement from your company. These things are no longer valid. That's the reason why we've seen the financial system change about 15, 20 years after that, we got off that gold standard. We saw that the whole economic system changed. There was a time in which you worked for a company, you put in 20 years, you were secure for the rest of your life. You'd retire, you get a pension, you get a nice Rolex. Because companies had money, they took care of their employees. Because the US dollar was not being massively inflated, the margins were a lot wider than they are today. But now things have changed. You had to take care of your own retirement. So that's going to continue in the future. Nothing's secure anymore. You have to take responsibility for your own financial future. And there's no way around it. It's being a responsible person who is thinking about their family, their children, and their grandchildren.